Task Force Ranger. Rangers, Delta Force, and the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment. The best America had.
October 3, 1993, Mogadishu, Somalia. America's most elite soldiers were about to face 18 hours of hell in the streets.
The mission? Capture 2 of Warlord Mohammed Farah Aidid's top lieutenants. Intelligence said they were meeting at the Olympic Hotel in the Bakara market.
It was supposed to take 30 minutes. Fast rope in, grab the targets, drive out. They'd done it 6 times before without problems.
Aidid's militia had learned American tactics. They knew the helicopters would come. And they had a plan.
Chalk 4, led by Staff Sergeant Matt Eversman, would fast rope onto the target building.
At 3 Finn helicopters lifted off. The formation flew low and fast. Blackhawks carrying Rangers and Delta. Little Birds with more Delta operators on external benches. 2 minutes to target.
The entire city heard them coming. Aidid's militia went to their positions.
The target building, Olympic Hotel. 2 of Aidid's top men were inside, along with 24 Somali militia guards.
Chief Warrant Officer Cliff Wolcott piloted Super 6-1, the lead Blackhawk.
The helicopters arrived over target at 3:42 p.m. Fast ropes deployed. The Rangers went in.
Rope down! Go!
Rangers fast roped into the street. 30 seconds to get everyone down.
Clear! Clear! Moving!
4 chalks, 48 Rangers, securing the building in less than a minute.
Moving left! Sector 4 clear! Push up!
Private Todd Blackburn was only 19. This was his first combat mission.
He missed the rope and fell 70 feet onto concrete.
Blackburn was critically injured. Skull fracture, internal bleeding. The mission just got more complicated.
Man down! Medic! We have a casualty! Prepare for medevac!
They needed to get him out immediately, but the mission wasn't finished.
We need immediate evac! Get this IV started now!
The ground convoy, led by Lieutenant Colonel McKnight, raced toward the target to extract the force.
Inside the building, Delta Force captured the targets. 2 senior Aidid aides and 22 Somali prisoners.
But Aidid's militia was mobilizing. Hundreds of fighters converging on the Americans, armed with AK-47s and RPGs.
The greatest threat was the RPG, rocket-propelled grenades. They'd been trained to aim for the tail rotors. At 4:20 p.m., an RPG streaked towards Super 6-1.
It missed, but more RPGs were coming.
Wolcott tried to evade, but there were too many RPGs. Wolcott fought to control the aircraft, but with no tail rotor, the Black Hawk began spinning.
Super 6-1 was going down in the most hostile part of the city, and the crew had no control.
The Somalis watched the helicopter fall. For them, it was a victory. For the Americans, a nightmare.
Super 6-1 crashed 5 blocks from the target building. The crew and passengers never had a chance.
The crash site was deep in enemy territory, surrounded by hostile militia, and Task Force Ranger would do anything to rescue survivors. Cliff Wolcott and his crew were dead, but 2 Delta snipers were still alive in the wreckage, wounded but fighting.
Eversman heard the call. We have a Black Hawk down. He had to get his men to the crash site.
Super 6-1 is down!
The Rangers moved toward the crash. 5 blocks through hostile streets.
Every doorway could hide an enemy.
The militia watched them come and prepared to ambush.
The ambush hit hard. AK-47 fire from every direction. The Rangers were in a 360-degree firefight.
For many Rangers, this was their first real firefight. Training couldn't prepare them for this intensity. Little bird gunships tried to suppress the militia. But there were too many fighters. The streets were a killing zone.
Meanwhile, the ground convoy was lost. The streets of Mogadishu were a maze. McKnight couldn't find the Rangers.
We're completely turned around. Where is everyone?
The convoy came under withering fire. Every turn brought more ambushes, more casualties.
Gunners exposed and the turrets were being hit. But they kept fighting.
IDID's technicals, pickup trucks with machine guns, raced to join the fight. The militia was growing by the minute.
The technicals attacked the convoy! Heavy machine guns that could penetrate Humvee armor!
Eversman reached the crash. The Black Hawk was destroyed. But they had to hold the site until the convoy could evacuate them.
They formed a perimeter. But the militia was everywhere. In every building. Behind every corner.
Super 6-4 went down in an even worse location. Completely surrounded by militia. No ground forces could reach it.
Durant was badly injured. His leg was broken, trapped in the wreckage. And he could hear the Somalis coming.
From above, Gordon and Shugart watched hundreds of militia surrounding the crash. No rescue force could get there in time.
Gordon made a request. Insert us at the crash site. We'll defend Durant until help arrives. It's too dangerous, Gordon. Denied.
The request was denied. It was a suicide mission. Gordon asked again.
Denied.
Finally, the request was approved. Gordon and Shugart would be inserted, alone, into the middle of hundreds of militia. They knew they wouldn't survive.
They inserted at the crash. 2 Delta snipers. Against hundreds of militia. It was the last time anyone would see them alive.
On their way to Durant!
Precision fire! Every shot counted! Every shot a kill!
They pulled Durant from the wreckage. His leg was shattered. Gordon gave Durant his weapon. They prepared for the final stand.
They fought brilliantly, professionally, every shot precise. But there were too many.
They fought to their last bullet. Reloading, firing, protecting Durant to the end.
Durant was captured alive. He would survive 11 days of captivity. Gordon and Shugart had given their lives to save him.
Back at the first crash site, night fell. The Rangers had been fighting for hours, and they were running low on ammunition.
Eversman counted ammunition. Some Rangers were down to their last magazine. They had to conserve every round.
The convoy still couldn't reach them. Every route was blocked, every street an ambush. McKnight's men were taking heavy casualties. Finally, UN forces agreed to help. Pakistani tanks and Malaysian troops. They would punch through to the crash site. A massive convoy formed. The largest rescue force assembled. They would fight their way in and extract everyone. The Rangers fought through the night. Every hour seemed like forever. But they held the perimeter. Not one man left behind.
Dawn came. They had survived the night. Now came the hardest part. Fighting their way out.
The rescue convoy smashed through the militia. Nothing could stop them. They were getting the Rangers out.
UN tanks demolished militia positions. The firepower was overwhelming. The tide was turning.
After 18 hours, help arrived. The Rangers were evacuated. But the cost had been terrible.
8 Americans killed. 73 wounded. The costliest battle since Vietnam.
The convoy fought its way back. The Battle of Mogadishu was over. But the consequences were just beginning.
Somali casualties were estimated between 500 and 1,000 killed. Far more wounded.
The militia celebrated. They had defeated the Americans. The images would be broadcast worldwide.
The battle was broadcast on American television. The public watched in horror. Support for the Somalia mission collapsed overnight.
American forces withdrew. The mission had failed. AIDID remained in power. The warlords won. But Somalia got no peace. The civil war continued. Famine continued. Nothing had changed except American involvement.
8 Americans never came home. Their names are on the memorial wall at Fort Benning. Heroes who fought to save their brothers.
Gary Gordon and Randy Schuhart received the Medal of Honor, the first awarded since Vietnam. They gave everything to save Mike Durant.
The Rangers remember. Rangers lead the way. And Rangers never leave a fallen comrade.
But Mogadishu changed American foreign policy. When Rwanda's genocide began 6 months later, the lessons of Mogadishu influenced American policy for years. Some historians argue it contributed to failures that allowed September 11th.
The Black Hawk still serves, upgraded and improved, flying in Afghanistan and Iraq, the most successful military helicopter in history.
Rangers continue to fight. Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, still the tip of the spear, still elite, still never leaving a fallen comrade.
Super 6-1 and Super 6-4. The helicopters shot down in Mogadishu.
Battle of Mogadishu, October 3rd and 4th, 1993. 18 hours of combat, 18 American heroes killed.